There are two elements to the visit today. One is a fitting and one is an education. For the fitting, we're going to apply the helmet multiple times throughout your visit today. And we're going to mark around the ears, around the forehead and face, tuning it, adjusting it, making sure that it fits right before you leave today. After we apply the helmet, we'll end up delegating most likely the finish work to the helmet, the modifications to the trimming. The education piece is to make sure that you understand how to apply the helmet, use the helmet. By the end of the process, the families are very offering that the experience wasn't as difficult as they anticipated. They often share that it was quite easy to get to the follow-up appointments, to have their child wear the helmet. They're very satisfied with the change and feel that the investment in their time and their money and their energy was very worth it. Misshapen heads have become more common because of the Back to Sleep program back in 1992 to prevent SIDS. Since then, there's been an increase in head shape deformities, but it's also at the same time saving lives. There are two primary head shapes that we treat with helmets. One is brachycephaly and one is plagiocephaly. Plagiocephaly head shape is one where the deformity or the flatness is on the side of the head or the back part of the head, whereas the brachycephaly is more centrally located on the back and usually more symmetrical in its form. We also have what we think is a very simple solution to redirect the shape of the child's head. The helmet functions by creating a void to allow for growth to be redirected to that area. Over the course of the next 3 to 6 months with your child's brain is going to grow and it's going to facilitate skull growth. That skull growth is going to move into the voids within the helmet, and this happens over a 23 out of 24 hour period while your child is wearing the helmet. Every day it'll get a little bit better. Every time that you come back to the clinic, we'll check on the progress, we'll assess the head shape. Though there's an ideal time to treat your child, and that typically lands in somewhere between 4 to 7 months. There are many patients that we treat that are 8 months of age or older. It may not be considered the ideal time to treat. There's still a ton of opportunity to make a big difference for your child's head shape. A lot of parents ask me, why does this helmet cost so much? There are many steps that happen. We need to do an assessment of your child, measurements, cranial scans. Those scans then are turned into positive models. The model needs to be modified, so we need to change the model, and then fabricate a helmet, fit a helmet, and follow up with your child. And all that is included in the single cost for the device. The process of making a helmet takes a combination of both high-end technology and craftsmanship. The helmet is made of two base materials. One is the inner lining, which is a P-Lite foam. It's the interface against your child's skin. Or the outer material is made of a hard copolymer plastic. If the helmet were made soft in its material, it would deform when your child laid on it. It needs to maintain its fit by being rigid. The reason for the thickness of the material is to accommodate growth and changes that we may need to make. If we used a thinner material, we would have to replace the helmet. It's very uncommon to have to do more than one of these custom helmets.
You want to stand looking at your child. The bumbo chair is really helpful to keep your baby in place while you're putting the helmet on. And it just frees up your hands so you have the ability to open it up nice and wide. And you start in the back and you rotate the helmet over their forehead. And once you get it on, you can reposition it so that it sits correctly on their head. You want to line up the helmet so that there's just a little bit of space around both ears. I'll show you on the other side, so just a tiny bit of space around each ear, and so that the helmet sits just above the brow line. It's really important to take that 360-degree view of her head. in order to look at the placement of her ears, to make sure that there's space around both ears, and to make sure that the front trim line fits right above her brow line and that it's not compressing on top of her eyes or on the side of her eyes. The strap on the side of the helmet and the spacer are there so that you can tighten the helmet, and that will keep the helmet in place. Pull the strap gently so that the slack is removed from the side, and never pull tightly. You just want to make sure that the spacer is always attached to the strap and doesn't come off, because it could be a choking hazard. So your baby might fuss a little bit in the beginning, but it's really not causing them any pain. It might take a couple days for her to get used to the helmet. The helmet will soon become a part of your routine, much like putting on a pair of socks or shoes. A lot of babies will look down in the beginning of wearing a helmet, and it's not due to the weight of it. The helmet was made from a scan that we did of her a few weeks ago. The helmet is comfortable for her to wear because it is not pressing or squeezing her head. I'd like to go through the instructions with you, and I'll send this home with you, but we'll go through it here today. It's really important that your daughter wear the helmet 23 out of 24 hours a day, and that's because she's growing 24 hours a day potentially, and we want to have all the growth that happens to happen in the back where she's flat right now. We do ask families to take the helmet off for bathing and swimming, so anytime she's in water. If she is getting physical therapy for torticollis, we do want the helmet to come off for those exercises. Excessive sweating, you'll probably find that she is quite sweaty in the first couple weeks in her helmet. That's really normal. We do find it does go away within a couple of weeks, and so know that it will get better. But if you want to take the helmet off periodically throughout the day to dry her head off and to dry the inside of the helmet off, that's fine. And just keep her dressed down into cooler layers for a few weeks while her body's adjusting. Illness, we do find that if babies are running a high temperature over 100 degrees, that you should take the helmet off, or if she's just not feeling well, we recommend that the helmet come off. And if you're using any kind of skin cream for eczema or any other skin issue, continue to do that. The spacer on the side, you always want to make sure that that is attached really well to the strap so that it doesn't come off and could become a choking hazard.
Okay.
It's good to be aware that the helmet can cause some skin redness or pinkness. As long as it goes away within a half an hour, it's fine to continue to have her wear it. If the redness is lasting though longer than that, and it's a bright color, bright red, bright pink, we do want you to use a little Aquaphor on that area. If that doesn't resolve the redness or pinkness, and you've tried the helmet a few times, we want to see her to adjust the helmet. The helmet is not going to restrict her activities at all, so other than these things that you're watching for, continue to have her go about her normal day wearing the helmet. Just know that the helmet is custom made for her, and so it's not squeezing her head and is not uncomfortable for her. For your daughter's helmet, it's holding the sides of her head, so it's just total contact on the sides. In the back where she's flat, there's a large space there for her to grow into. And because she is a young baby who is growing every day, we can use that growth to impact her head shape. And as she grows, her head will fill out into that space. The adjustments that we often will do will be for a little bit of growth or pressure. So we'll relieve areas where she's having a little bit too much pressure, and that'll show up as redness. Her cheeks may get fuller, and we'll open the little sideburns up so that there's more room for her to grow into it. So because the helmet is worn pretty much 23 hours a day, most days, she's going to be sweaty, and the skin is touching the helmet at all times, and so the helmets get an odor to them that is just part of it. We find that if you clean it every day, that smell is much better. And in addition to that, if you can use hot water in the form of like using a steamer or hot water from your sink hose, you can really get the smell out of it much better. And we recommend using isopropyl alcohol, which is rubbing alcohol, to clean it. And you can use it in a couple different forms. We have wipes. So isopropyl or rubbing alcohol wipes, and what you want to do is just clean the inside out. Go ahead and pull a couple of them off and just wipe the inside down. The outside doesn't matter, it's what touches her skin that you want to clean every day. And you can also get a bottle of rubbing alcohol and use that on a washcloth, like an old washcloth. And in addition to that, we've found that a lot of families will use a clothes steamer, and that is really helpful just to steam the inside. That really pulls the smell out of the helmet. We recommend that parents not use soap, shampoo, baking soda on the inside of a helmet, because all of them can leave a residue on the inside that then when you put the helmet on and it's left on for 12 or 13 hours, it can really irritate their skin. And we've had some pretty severe cases where that has caused a chemical burn to their skin. So you want to stay away from using any kind of perfume to the helmet. You want to avoid using anything harsh like bleach or Lysol on the inside of the helmet. Just rubbing alcohol and hot water. Usually once you've cleaned the helmet, it's dry within 10-15 minutes. And so a good time to clean the helmet is right as you start bath time, and also in the morning or the evening. Well, your baby's skin is going to be a good barometer for how the helmet is holding her head. You may see pinkness in different areas that are completely normal. We expect a little bit of pinkness wherever the helmet is touching, but we also expect it to go away quickly within a half an hour. If the redness or pinkness doesn't go away within a half an hour, you can try putting a thin layer of Aquaphor on her skin. I would try the helmet on again, take a look at it in a few hours. If the skin is red though and it's lasting longer than a half an hour after it comes off, we want to see her for an adjustment appointment. The first skin condition to discuss is pressure. This is due to a decreased space in the helmet as your child is growing. There will be redness to the skin that presents as circular in shape or at the edges of the helmet. As you first notice this, make an appointment for an adjustment. Continue using the helmet until the appointment, as long as the redness is gone within 30 minutes. Adjustments may be needed throughout the use of the helmet. If you see a deep red color, discontinue using the helmet immediately and make an appointment. Next, we'll talk about friction. This may happen when the helmet is new or recently adjusted to create space. Because there is space in the helmet for the child to grow into, the helmet can shift. A little movement is normal, but excessive movement is not. When your baby is lying down, they may rotate their head left or right, but the helmet may stay in the same spot. This can cause the skin to become irritated or chafed. This is normal and can be treated with a small amount of Aquaphor applied directly to the skin. If the skin starts to break down and becomes cracked, open, or deep red, discontinue using the helmet and make an appointment. Another possible skin condition is a chemical reaction. Only use isopropyl alcohol and a steam cleaner for cleaning the helmet and treating the smell. Other cleaning agents may cause a chemical rash. If this occurs, discontinue the use of the helmet until you clean it with isopropyl alcohol and a steam cleaner. If you are concerned about your child's rash, you may want to contact their primary care physician in addition to contacting us. The next skin condition to discuss is a heat rash. This is common in the summertime and is due to excessive sweating as the helmet retains a lot of heat. Remove the helmet until the rash disappears. If it is not mostly resolved in 1 to 2 days, contact us to make an appointment. The last skin condition we will discuss is an allergic reaction. This can occur in some children whose skin may not tolerate contact to the foam. If you suspect an allergic reaction, remove the helmet and contact us for an evaluation. You've made a great decision to do the helmet. With children who are growing every day, so at the age that she's at, we see great change if the helmet is worn full time.
The follow-up visits are a necessary component to the outcome of your child. Though you may have an appointment scheduled in 3 weeks, your child may have an irritation that is going to need to be adjusted more urgently. We may need to have you seen that day or the next day. At Orthotic Care Services, we understand that there's a cost of your time, cost of providing the service and paying for the helmet. We don't continue to bill for each and every visit that you come by. We want to reduce the amount of visits that you're coming in for adjustments. And depending on the age of your child, if they're younger, they're going to come in more frequently. When they're older, they're going to come in less. And simply the reason is because they're not growing as fast, or they're growing faster. And so the reason you need to come in for these follow-up appointments is so we can monitor how frequently you do need to be seen. You may start out initially at 2 weeks for follow-ups, and by the time you're done, we may be seeing you for a 4-week follow-up. We'll assess the head shape, we'll take measurements at your follow-ups, we'll monitor how things are going, make adjustments to the helmet should your child need any to improve the fit. We want the greatest outcome for your child, and that means being available when you need us. We appreciate everyone who chooses Orthotic Care Services. We are very passionate about our skills, our outcomes. We want the best for your baby. We understand that our work is changing lives, and we feel really good about that.